Jackals TV is back, and we're further documenting the Jackals summer season playoff run as they are through to the semifinals here tonight, taking on the mighty Hellfish. Let's have a look at the lineup they have here tonight. Scratched tonight, Gary Mizuno and Jay Lawrence, both out. Otherwise, no spares required for 3 lines and 4 defense here today. The Jackals will be taking on the mighty Hellfish. That's the team that finished first in the regular season. The Jackals finishing 5th, so it's a 5 versus 1 matchup here today, although the Jackals finished first in their pool and the Hellfish finished second in their playoff pool. So it's actually the Jackals that are the home team for this matchup here today, despite the regular season records. Speaking of the regular season, these teams met 3 times in the regular season, and the Jackals had no luck against this team, losing 2 games by 4-1 scores, and then having a 7-1 blowout loss in the 3rd game that they played against the Hellfish. So it's going to be a big uphill battle here for the Jackals today if they hope to make the finals. So let's have a look at the highlights and see how it goes. The Hellfish are on the attack first in this one. This player is going to come down the left side, put the puck to the middle. Troy tips it, and it just misses the stick of the Hellfish player off to the side of the net, who would have had an empty net. Here's David now. He tries to put that softly up to JD, but it gets tipped and goes behind him. So that player walks in alone. Took a shot to the blocker's side, but a nice save there by Trevor to keep it scoreless. Jackals continue to defend in their own end. Here's Lloyd, though. He's going to punch that puck up the wall, and Bob's going to jump on it past that Hellfish player. Gets caught there, tries to put it over to Jay. Then Jay pressures defender, who gives it right away to Daryl, who walks in and puts it in off the post, high in the blocker. And the Jackals have scored on their first shot on net here in this game to give themselves a 1-0 lead. The Hellfish keep coming, though. This puck's going to get moved up here up the ice on the right side and eventually put through to that player who's going harder than that, who tips it on that, but Trevor's there to make a nice save and cover it up. Another pinch in from the point, and this puck's going to get turned over, and eventually it's going to end up out front of this player, who dekes around, tries to pull it to the forehand, and it rolls harmlessly off the end of his stick, and he had space to put it there. So it remains 1-0 as we go to the second. Here we see Gary's going to pick up that puck in the neutral zone, come across the line, spinorama pass over, and then a spinorama shot by Jer, but it's low, and the goalie directs it into the end boards. Jackals keep coming in this period. There's a shot by Daryl that bounces up in the air, and then he goes off into the corner, and he rides that player into the wall. And innocuous as that play was, the referee is going to deem that to be an interference penalty on Daryl. So to the power play, the Hellfish go. Hellfish working around. They're going to find this player coming in backdoor. He taps it on net. The rebound's there. There's 2 players there. And then a 3rd player brings the puck to the front of the net, and it's still loose off to the side. Couple whacks at it before Trevor reaches out and covers it up. So the penalty gets killed successfully by the Jackals. And here's Gary with the puck in his own corner, and he gets run from behind. And that's going to be a penalty to the Hellfish that's going to send the Jackals to their first power play of this game, up 1-0. Here's Troy with the puck. He's going to put it off to the sidewall, and watch Daryl. He's going to get run by number 12 there, sticking his knee out, and then he continues to barrel through Lloyd for some reason, and that's going to earn him a penalty. Daryl's going to go speak to him about his play, and luckily Daryl gets pushed out of there by Gary, and so the Jackals are going to get a 5-on-3 power play. And the Jackals are going to get a number of chances on this 5-on-3 power play. First, it starts with Bob going in on the left side. Puck through the triangle to Aaron. Rips it high over the crossbar. Play continues. Here's Gary. He finds Bob on the far right side, who puts a bad pass over to Jared. But luckily, Aaron is there to intercept it. Go around that player, walk in, take the shot. The rebound's there. Jared gets 2 cracks at the rebound before the players come in, and the goalie covers it up. And then off the following faceoff, it gets put back to Bob, who throws it on net. The save is made, and the rebound comes up to Darshawn. He's all alone in front, tries to go to the glove hand side, and the save is made. And then Johnny is swinging wildly at it while he's laying down on the ice. Eventually, David ends up with one more shot from the point, gets turned to the corner, and the Hellfish successfully kill that 5-on-3 without giving up a goal despite the dangerous attempts. And then there's a chance at the other end. The Hellfish pick up that puck in the middle of the ice and take it to the backhand. And the rebound's there, but Bob manages to lift that player's stick before he's able to get it. So down to the far end. There's a nice pass by Daryl out to Lloyd. He goes far corner of the net, but the goalie gets his toe on it, and then Daryl walks out and gets another shot. That goalie covers it up. So a lot of shots on net for the Jackals here in this period. And speaking of which, there's one from Gary, another one from Aaron on the rebound, and he finds the second rebound off the side of the net with the goalie looking in the wrong direction, pulls it back out front, and tucks it into the empty net to give the Jackals a 2-goal lead here at the end of the second period. And as we head to the third, it's going to be an all-out assault by the Hellfish to try to get back in this one. There's number 8 with a nice drag move around Darshawn. Same move around Rob. Then he takes a shot. Bob partially blocks it, but it goes through that player that's behind him. Tries to shovel it on net, but Trevor keeps it out. 91 coming in, throwing the puck at the net. It gets deflected by Gary to the corner. He's going to get it back, though, and eventually throw it up front, where this player is going to whip around and throw it at the net. But Trevor has the leg pad down, makes a save as the puck goes to the corner. Now we see the Hellfish working the puck down low, but watch in front of the net, right in front, David is tied up with one of the Hellfish players. It's pretty innocuous, seems like normal. Maybe he does have his hand on his shoulder, but the referee is going to deem that to be a holding penalty and put the Hellfish onto the power play here in the third period, down by 2. There's a backhand shot that just goes wide, and that player picks it up off the wall, but Trevor's there sealing the post off so it doesn't go in. There's another attempt by the Hellfish. It hit Bob's skate, goes to the corner, but they are going to pick it up. And this player's going to whip it on net. Nice blocker save. And the rebound comes out. That player's going to hold on to it before he eventually tries to find that part of the net up high that was exposed over the shoulder. But Trevor gets his arm up and the puck gets clear. Here's Gary. Makes a play at the blue line, but he loses control of it. And the Hellfish are going to come in eventually, put a backhander on net. But the blocker of Trevor is there and he covers it up for the whistle. Now at this point, the Hellfish have scored to make it 2-1, but the cameras were not on to catch it. And here they're looking for the equalizer. That puck is up high and it hits one of their own players in the head and bounces to Trevor, where he's able to cover it up. So here's another face-off where the Jackals are trying to get it out. It doesn't quite get out across the line. The defender puts it down low to this player on the left side who's going to throw it towards the net. It bounces off a leg in behind the net, and that player off to the side had lots of room there at the end of the net, where Trevor was looking the wrong way. When Gary gets his stick down, it prevents the player from bringing the puck out front. So Hellfish still looking to tie. Throw this one out front. It's going to bounce around that player on the side. That's the same player who couldn't bring that puck out from behind the net. And that one hops over his stick when he had a good chance to put that high in the net. Seconds winding down. They're trying to jam it in from the side of the net. Bodies are flying everywhere. There's a big block by Rob. And he's going to come up with another one here as this puck's going to go off to the left side. Rob's going to come flying through here eventually on number 12. Send him bowling over as the clock winds down. And the Jackals have won this game 2-1, and they will be advancing to the finals. So as we watch the dejected Hellfish, the first place team, exiting the playoffs before the final, the Jackals will move on. So let's have a look at the stats. There you see Aaron and Daryl with the goals here today, and another stellar performance by Trevor in net with just 1 goal allowed on 31 shots. So let's have a look at the stats so far after the 3 playoff games that have been played. There you see that this run is largely on Trevor's back. Look at that save percentage, over .950 so far in the 3 playoff games, and with the help of Brad, of course, at the top of the scoring table. But the Jackals were able to win this one by playing smart old guy hockey, even without Brad there to help today. And they'll have to do that again tomorrow night. As you see, there's the semifinal results. The Royals beating the Fraser River Motorboaters in the other semifinal. So it'll be the Jackals versus the Royals in the finals on Friday night. Funnily enough, this will be a matchup between the 2 bottom teams in the division. The Jackals finishing 5th and the Royals finishing 6th, last place. But those are the teams in the finals. And we'll see you there on Friday night.